Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm so glad to have with me on the set today John Martin, running for county commissioner. How about that? You're getting in politics, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Appreciate you guys doing this and giving us an opportunity to talk to the voters.
Well, we're glad to have you here. And a lot of you recognize John. For many years, you did the Trinity Coaches Show here on TV 35, kind of like one of us. And matter of fact, we're in our coaches' chairs. We just don't have the lockers behind us here, so you probably feel at home, don't you?
Very much. We had some good times with Steve Price and the folks out there at Trinity. It was a lot of fun, I can tell you that. Doing the games, had a lot of success whenever we were out there, so it was a joy. Yep,
great program. And first of all, before we get started, tell everybody who you are and tell them about your family.
John Martin. We've been living here in Dexter. It'll be 9 years in August. My little boy's 8.
Wow.
He'll be 9 in August, so we moved here right after he was born. Wife, Jennifer. She stays at home with the kids, have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. She volunteers out at Southwest Lawrence. She has a full-time job with the kids, taking them to school, activities, bringing them home, and then keeping me in line.
Full-time job.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So Dexter's been good to you, huh?
Yes. We've, I tell folks when we moved out to Springhaven Road, there was the gentleman on the hill behind us has some black Angus cows. They're beautiful. And then in the front yard was a nice cotton field, and we really like that. And then shortly thereafter, we've got a nice new high school being put in. And a lot of folks have asked me how that's gone, but I tell you, the folks at West Lawrence High School have been great neighbors. We've not had any issues. They do a great job of keeping that facility in great shape, and we enjoy where we live. Kids go to school out at Southwest Lawrence. They really enjoy it. So Dexter has become home. Of course, I grew up right up the road, Wilkeston County. Grew up in McIntyre. So that was home. Graduated high school in Macon, Georgia. Then went to Tennessee Temple University in Chattanooga. Talked Jennifer into marrying me, and off we go.
How about that? How long did that take?
It took me about 4 or 5 years to really convince her. But finally, you just got to be persistent.
Good. We mentioned District 2 County Commissioner. This is the, if those of you have not looked into these races, this is the most congested race, I guess I'll say. We've got a Democrat side and a Republican side, and y'all know next week are the debates. Now, you'll be debating Ken Snyder, which is the Republican candidate, and then on the Democratic side, the incumbent in this race, D.M. Mullis, is running against Miss Sandra K. Jones out of Rents. So you got to cross this hurdle first. Why should people vote for you, John?
Well, that's a great question. I always wanted to say that. That's a great question. One thing you talk about the field is crowded. I think one thing you can grasp in that is there's a lot of people who are probably not real happy with what's been going on. The incumbent's been in there for roughly 20 years. At some point in time, that's long enough. But for me, it's pretty simple. I grew up in a small town. My grandfather was mayor in McIntyre. I'm a history and political science major. I have an enjoyment of history and politics. I've got a young family, 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. I've got a long way to go. I want Lawrence County to be a county that is there for them when they decide after college that they have jobs and a place to come and work. The only thing that I think you can point to is people have to get involved. You've got to be willing to get involved in your community if you want it better. It's one thing to sit back and complain, but it's another to put some skin in the game and say, hey, I want to try to make things better. I've got young kids I want to raise here. I want to see the county continue to grow as it's doing. I want it to be here for my children whenever, or if they want to come back, want to have good jobs for them. Those things are important to me. I plan on being here a long time, and I think we can make a difference for the people in District 2.
Well, I keep hearing one word over and over, jobs, which is very important to our community. Are you hearing that, and what else are you hearing? I know you're knocking on a lot of doors. And I know people are nice to you. We're in a good community.
Sure.
Nobody's really
Yes.
going to be mean
Yes.
to you in Lawrence County. It's
That's
just
right.
the area we live in. Good Southern folk. But what are you hearing on if you out knocking on doors? What's on people's mind?
Jobs are obviously important to everyone. And the thing that Lawrence County, the citizens of Lawrence County, I think is key, that the citizens here voted in the SPLOST for the Development Authority to have that funding to allow Cal Ray to go out and do the things that he's done. He's done an excellent job.
Absolutely.
Certainly proud of what he's done. Now, we want him to keep working.
Yeah.
We don't want him to slow down.
Don't stop now.
But I think the credit, a lot of times when good things are happening, everybody wants to take credit for it. The people that need the credit for the good things that are happening are the people living in Lawrence County that voted to set that money aside and then let Cal Ray go to work. That's been essential. Of course, one thing as a county commissioner that I hear in my district, District 2, is we got a lot of dirt roads, man. We got a lot of roads that need being paved.
A lot, yeah.
It's a big district, and folks are reasonable. That's the thing that I'm hearing. You don't have people saying, we want this thing paved and we want it as wide as it can be. The folks there want something done with their roads. I'm hearing that. Of course, one of the things that I think has been a hot button is the sanitation fee. I like to refer to it as the sanitation tax. The county ran into a situation where there was a budget shortfall. Their solution was to add on a $50 tax. And the thing that really has people, I think, in our district upset is the rural homeowners that are funding that. When the city of Dublin, East Dublin, Dudley opted out, that dropped that revenue that they anticipated coming in. So really, that fee has some people upset. But I think the way it was done has probably got more people upset than the fact that it was done. It's just the whole way it was presented, and then allowing the folks in the cities to pull out, which you have the right to do.
Right.
Totally understand, no problem. But the rural homeowners are sitting there; they're the ones that are paying for that. And then to hear other folks, because there are people that live in the city of Dublin that would like to use those recycling centers, and if somebody wanted to pay that $50, is the county willing to take their money as well to use it? I say they absolutely should. If somebody wants to pay the county some money
don't turn
to
money
use it.
down. Yeah.
No, but that's not necessarily the case. So those are the key things. You got to look at jobs. You got to look at the roads, and then having an advocate, having somebody they can pick up the phone and call, and feel like is going to be an advocate for the folks in District 2 on the county commission. Those are key.
And how do they, and we'll put it on the screen, y'all, jot it down, but if they want to talk to John Martin, we can't ask every question. You thinking of something there, say, gosh, I wish he'd asked that, and you got that question. Tell them how they could call, your email.
478-278-1281 is my cell.
Okay.
I always have it with me. We have a Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook. Get in touch with us there. I'll be glad to answer any questions. So far, the positive thing is when you can stand and talk with someone, people are really reasonable. There's always more than one side to every story. And usually folks can get in the middle and come up with a decision that's good for everyone. And that's what I've experienced while I've been out campaigning.
Okay, let's clear something up before we go. Everybody that I talk to in this district, I feel like a county commissioner most days, being out in the public, but everybody says, John Martin, he's the guy that owns Martin's Grocery in Dexter. Let's clear that up. He don't own Martin's Grocery in Dexter.
No.
That's another Martin,
That's
but clear that up there. There's nothing wrong with it, but I want to know who you are.
Right. No, I certainly don't. We certainly visit there. And,
right. And proud to have them in Dexter.
Yes,
that's right. I'm with you.
They have very good meat.
It's nothing bad. Yeah. It's just you're not the same one.
There's several Martins that were here. I think whenever I moved to Dublin, and I worked at Trinity for 4 years. Worked as an athletic director, admissions director, development director, taught, coached. There were several John Martins in the area. And then whenever I left and went to Electromech Scoreboard Company, I had one come up to me and say, "Listen, I tell you, man, I used to get all kinds of messages for you at home because they thought I was that John Martin." But no, I do not own Martin's Grocery.
Okay. With the real John Martin stand
That's
up.
exactly right.
And before we go, John, anything, and a lot of new people moving here every day. And Dublin's a growing area. A lot of new people out there don't know either candidate. Why should they vote for you before we go? Just one last word to the person out there.
I think I represent a portion of Lawrence County growing, young family. Have a great relationship with Matt Hatchett. Have his support in this race. Ross Tollison, met him several times. Know his wife from my days in private education. Jim Cole. He is on the state board, the Georgia DOT for our region.
Right.
He has endorsed me. I know a lot of folks. I think I represent a good group of people as far as young growing families. But the key thing that's really important is not necessarily who I know, but it's that the folks in District 3 know that they have an advocate on the county commission that's going to fight for them and that's going to do for them what is right for the entire district. I think that's important, and I certainly hope that they'll strongly consider me in the Republican primary.
Okay. The number's on the screen. Call John. He'll be glad to talk with you. Just call one of those numbers there. He'll be glad to talk with you about anything you have. Trying to be the second Republican county commissioner in the history of Lawrence County. How about that?
That's a little pressure there.
That is. That's a lot of pressure.
We can do it.
Good job.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for joining us today.